Hi, everybody. Welcome to our quarterly partner call. We have a lot to show you, a lot to share, and a lot of questions to answer. Let me start by sharing my screen. So what are we going to share today? The first, it's been 3 months, first 3 months since we hired Adam full-time to be our partner success champion. And we're going to hear from Adam first. And we're going to hear his like a little presentation, I'd say. Second, we will be presenting changes for the e-commerce plans, that significant changes that I'm pretty sure will be celebrated by many. Next, the MVC, the new project is the new generation of AgentOne that we've been working on quite some time with quite resources spent on this interesting project. And next would be the roadmap for the Q2 for the second quarter of this year, and we'll finish with Q&A. We will start with Adam so Adam will give you the floor to present your part first.
Sure. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, so just a bit of an update and what's been happening with me. So, firstly, just thank you all for warmly welcoming me as the Partner Success Champion back at the start of February. It was nice. So in that time, we're focused on integrating me into the WebinOne team infrastructure, where I've been collaborating with Alex, Vlad, Taraz, Victoria, and Anna on a range of different tasks, some of which included outreach campaigns to you guys. And I've had emails and one-on-one meetings with some of you around the platform feedback already. And now that I have systems in place to allow for even more feedback opportunities. So I hope to be talking with a lot of you more going forward about various platform improvements. So I think especially this next quarter is going to be pretty busy and exciting based on what we're probably going to see in this meeting. So I've also assisted in an audit of the backlog, the public backlog, just to clean up those and flag any items that have been covered by features that have already been released. Also to resurface any backlog requests that were closely related to new features so that they can potentially be actioned as well. There was a few sort of missing in there. And of course, a big focus has been on documentation and the review of each release notes as they come out. So with the documentation site, I've overhauled the search functionality again, now using the built-in native AI search feature that was brought out a little while ago. And I've added site search keywords to every single article in there. So that's really helped to improve the search results there. So I think there have been over like 16 documentation articles updated or newly created. And now I have a really good system in place to speed up article creation as well to deliver even more supporting resources. And that's not only for all of you, but also now for the AI models that need to consume that information as well. So this is a really important area where there's been some good improvements made. And now as new features are released as well, the documentation for those new features shouldn't be too far behind us either. I know there's often been a bit of a wait to get that documentation updated for new features. So yeah, big improvements for documentation. And lastly, there's been a few additions to the Treehouse site with a couple of code snippets added. And you might have just seen recently the briefing document was added as a resource there. So hopefully that helps some of you out. I had hoped to make more changes to Treehouse, but I will keep chipping away at that as we go on. But yeah, so I think that brings us up to date with what I've been working on and ready to get stuck into next quarter. I'll hand that back to you, Alex.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Adam. Okay, now let's move to, do you guys see my screen? So let's move to the next changes, the e-commerce. So we have changes in e-commerce plans. The basic plan is now repackaged as a full-fledged B2C store, gaining 4 features from the Plus plan. You get the attributes, inventory management, gift vouchers, and discount codes. So that should give significant boost to build those to compete with Shopify stores. And Plus is repositioned as a B2B store, inheriting 3 key features from Max: wholesale pricing, custom order statuses, and shipping integrations. And for the Max plan, we are repositioning it to aim franchises and multi-site brands with advanced features that we're planning to release later this year. So if you go on the WebinOne pricing page right now, you will and go to the e-commerce. Let me see if it's refreshed. It is. Yes, so this is custom pricing. So you could basically see those new items added in the gift vouchers, discount codes. So those are added as well. This new pricing, you will be able to activate new sites with the new pricing, e-commerce sites starting May 3rd, with our upcoming release that will be May 3rd or 6th. Taras, you can correct me if I'm 6th, May 6th. So it's going to be right here. And you will also probably going to create a cart, separate cart for this. So we're hidden it for now. Let me go further. Okay, MVC Agent One. So what is MVC? The project that we've been working on for the last I'd say 3 months. Just a little context. So we as a team, and even me personally, we've been heavily involved into vibe coding, if you heard of that thing, and basically doing a lot of aggressive experimentation with how things work and on the capabilities of those super popular solutions that provide fast results and with AI capabilities. So as a result of those experiments and lots of attempts, we have, and plus on top of it, we've been releasing the newer version of Copilot, updating the Copilot, the design parser and implementer. We came to this project, and we have turned into, I'd say half of our team turned into research and development team in the last 3 months, and I've been going through like working with experiments and with understanding the capabilities and how we can build a future-proof solution. And we have involved Adam heavily, especially in the latest phases, to test the overall hypothesis of this project and trying to shape it and communicate it and find the wedge, as we called it internally, all for our platform. And this is the fruit of it. MVC stands for Managed Vibe Coding. So now when you go to our website, our homepage, and if you click AgentOne, here is presented the whole idea, the whole concept of managed vibe coding. So basically, Agent One is becoming like a platform for managed vibe coding within WebinOne. So we have, let me just go through this page. So AI that builds and operates your website. So we are targeting a lot of pains and challenges that agencies are having with the vibe coding tools. So vibe coding tools generate code and then walk away. And with AgentOne, it operates directly on a live managed platform with all the CMS, CRM, e-commerce, and all the platform's assets fortified with professional guardrails, complete agency control, nothing breaks. So we're showing you this page is targeting the new agencies. We're launching it for SEO and AO purposes. So it has all the vision and everything laid out here. Of course, to the partners, we're giving early access, and I'll share our plan and how we're moving this project further. And we're also planning to show that to you. We have some things even running in the background right now. So yeah, this popular AI tools like Lovable, Bolt, Cursor, Wix AI, they can be great at getting you to the starting line. AgentOne is the engine that wins the race. We've bridged the gap between launched and legendary with a complete infrastructure and managed AI web operations. We did our own research and what people are looking for, what people complain about in Reddit, on forums of those products. So, and these numbers are pretty close. So there are the vulnerability security issues are significantly important, and it's a major problem for everything, all the AI slop or AI built applications, and that includes websites. So how does unmanaged regular vibe coding is compared to managed vibe coding? It operates fully within our platform, so it doesn't do anything outside of our platform, doesn't do anything unpredictable on our platform. So it's only using the assets of the platform. So as you know, with all other vibe coding instruments, you have to build it. You build it locally, then you have to host it somewhere, support it, and all that. So with us, it's different. So you have the infrastructure, you know where you're starting with hosting and with the healthy environment, protected environment, and then you vibe code inside of it. And so you have a running website with full stack right away. So in our terms, you start a new blank website, and that's your first step into vibe coding. We also want to give you tools and new opportunities to set boundaries and rules for your clients for predictable results. Security wise, everything is going to be is built within draft mode using, and also we use backups. You can use backups, and we have our own internal guardrails. We'll discuss more about the draft mode and the staging environment and all that stuff a little later, including the rollback and activity logs. And this also opens new revenue opportunities for agencies. We see actually several that are pretty important. And the learning curve. So the learning curve should be minimal for partners because it's basically the same platform, same documentation, just things are being done faster. So how the we created this three-layer architecture. It's actually way more, but for the agencies, this is how it's going to look like. So we have system agents, the foundation. So the agents that are trained by WebinOne team. And these are your design parser. We have significantly improved the Copilot and implementer. Now it's one agent. It's basically the expert of the platform. Imagine it's like Vlad and Adam in one piece doing stuff for you. So right now, the latest version we have is very impressive. I plan to show you the results. It doesn't do e-commerce yet. We didn't train it to do it, but the ecosystem for training system agents is there. We have the process built. So the architecture layer is organized, but these are your system agents that have they're trained by our team, by team one. There's also a process of synchronization with official documentation. So this is the implementation and agent. Partner agents. So this is an interesting layer. We basically already created an ecosystem where partners can create their own agents for their specific repeated tasks, your own skills, patterns, whatever configurations. And you can build it out of the prompt. So very minimal skills. We already built one, and as a experiment. So we want to make that process very easy. And as you probably already understood, the whole goal is to give ability to partners to share their agents between each other. And we want to make that process extremely GitHub level, easy to share between each other. And the side agents. So these are agents that are specific for a client. This can be anything. An agent that sends a contact form submission with a little summary through WhatsApp to your particular client, or sends an weekly email with what happened with activities from the Google Analytics, contact form submission orders, or whatever you want. So these are agents that you can build for for a specific client with their own scenario. So the rest of the thing, I don't think there's just more details. Let me see if there's anything that's important here. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to ask them on this part. So we did look through the market, and we try to find our wedge and try to use the assets of our platform and advantages that we have being a closed platform. So we realized that we're positioned to build this ecosystem that is targeted to agencies, and it seems like we're a little ahead of the competition, and this is something this is the era where we can bring some very unique experience, and this is the niche what we are targeting at the moment. So this is little comparison on how AgentOne works compared to other platforms. So this is for the new agencies. We just built this form, but the process of adoption of it is going to be led by Adam. So we are planning to hand this to him as soon as possible, pushing it firm Monday so he could start working on it on his use cases to the point where he can get enough wow effect for himself for his use cases, and then we want to hand it over to the partners. Now let me try to show you how it actually looks and works. So this one, Vlad, is this one still working? It's still working. It's too bad. Okay. And let me try a different instance then. If you guys have any questions, you're welcome to post them or ask them right now while I open the layout. Okay, let me show you one of the latest projects that we did on the latest version of AgentOne. So we took this website by our partner that we developed for our partner from South Carolina. So this is a live website. It's already developed, fairly simple but clean and nice. It's using the agent. We gave it the markup files, HTML and CSS, a zip that looked like this, and it just contained all the HTML and CSS, the images and everything. And it took about 30 minutes. It also depends on the LLM speed. As you know, during the working hours in US, the LLMs work slower or they don't work sometimes. So around 30 minutes, it took us around 30 minutes to build the main template, 11 pages, 3 snippets, 2 forms, a menu with a drop down, 5 custom modules with 35 items and side globals. And this is how the website looks like. The original, so I try to replicate this. We launched the same version of it on the copy of the website. So the way it looks is you have this new vibe tab right in the admin. And for this particular project, I uploaded the zip file to the pilot manager and I told him to implement like a pro using the best techniques and knowledge you have. I did ask it to give it to client ID and client secret for the API. You won't need to do that. And now it turns into conversation. Well, you will be able to track all the thinking, how it works, what it does. It creates a plan, how it will implement things. So it's basically thinking like a developer, plans like a developer, and then executes as a developer. Internally, it has a large knowledge base and architecture that instructs the LLMs to perform the job. So while it's still working, let me see if there are a couple more things I wanted to show you, hoping it's gonna finish. Okay, let me grade to, seems like it's finishing. I would still prefer to make it completed to show you how the results look like and what the output it gives you. So it seems like it's almost done. So I will give you we'll get to the next section first and we'll come back to this. Let's do that. Let's take a look on how our roadmap looks like for 25, 26. So in Q1 2026, we already completed 2 public backlog requests and we did the page builder, a page layout builder, which is a nice feature. I hope you guys were able to utilize that as much as possible. And also, this is something as you probably understood, this is something we needed and will be heavily utilized by the AgentOne when building the site. And also we have split the whole package of admin UI UX enhancements and changes, split them in 2 parts. So the first part is delivered. A lot of it also relates to the AgentOne features. And the second part we are planning to accomplish this quarter. Regarding the automation, so we did pass this threshold that we had for our internal metrics. So, and the support right now is 50% automated, which is a huge thing. Automated meaning it does provide at least 50% of answers are provided by our support agent on the level as a person. So what do we plan for the Q2 right now? A lot of it is around MVC. So we want to fully launch the entire 3-layer experience to the partners. So where we have multiple system agents. Right now, our team is working already on 2 new agents. The system agents, besides the implementer, it's the designer slash coder, the agent that creates designs by generating with the generated HTML and CSS. Also, the brief maker, the agent that collects all the necessary information, the brief from you. So it basically questions you, either you're an interview or or however your briefing process works. And as a result, it triggers the designer and then the implementer agents to create a complete website out of the brief. So these are the system agents that we are working on. Simultaneously, we are working on creating the ability for agencies to create their own agents within their portal. Regarding the platform changes, we're still planning like normally we plan to deliver at least 3 public backlog requests, finish the admin UI X. The other half, still we have the import export improvements that would work in the background, the import and export that would work in the background. Now, this was huge. This is the biggest one, and this is the the one that this is the feature that is more related to AgentOne and the managed vibe coding than anything else. So we have chosen this strategically to bring that experience. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to develop it, again, based on the feedback we will receive from Adam and from the community, from the partners on with their experience with AgentOne and this whole vibe coding experience. So how do you guys want to work with that? We understand that everybody's probably going to create trial copies of live sites to do some changes, and then there's a challenge of publishing it to the live website. So we're trying to find the best way and how to make that experience better, either by expanding the preview mode or creating a separate piece of functionality. Granular backup, we still have this thing planned, ability to backup and restore specific clusters of data. And the site transfer that's the feature that will be available in the portal for agencies for sites between partner portals. And this one, the new Open API docs, that's something we almost finished, but we didn't complete in the last quarter. The e-commerce changes wouldn't add this to the quarter because it's already planned. You're going to see this coming on May 6th. You guys have any questions on our roadmap or anything that's planned?
Alex, I have a question on the e-commerce changes for the plans. So obviously that will go through and affect sites that are already on those e-commerce plans. So
You will be able to downgrade to
right.
yeah. So there will be most likely will happen manually, right, Taras? So we will have to manage that manually.
Yeah, it will be manually.
Okay. And with the new AI tool, the vibe coding tool, is that intended to replace the design parser and the implementer, or will we still have those as separate tools as well?
That's a good question. So the vibe tab, you're gonna see that in the portal as well. So it seems like we're gonna have to make a little different capabilities, separate capabilities from the portal and from the site. So because there are things like design parser, for example, we're still gonna have this as a part of it's one of the agents that will be available, but most likely from the portal when you will be creating a new blank website. The co-pilot, that's a good question. The current implementer, current new agent version of the AgentOne is basically the implementer and the co-pilot together, but much better version. So you won't have that co-pilot thing anymore here. Let me see if I can go through this. Okay, let me share my screen. So this is where we need. So when you go to admin, you don't have this Copilot tab anymore. This is where we need feedback from partners and from you guys because you will be able to do everything in here. So for example, this is the implementation of the website is complete. So this was this whole process. This is the report. It took 52 minutes and 25 seconds to 137 CMS changes. So this is a complete implementation of the website. The good thing, the way is that it shows you the entire results of all the pages and all the parts of the admin, and you'll be able to Okay, this is not found. But you'll be able to arrive to the area where let me see, maybe this one works. No. So it will bring you to the area where the changes were made. And, but we have the idea of like the first feedback we had from the team one is that we have to have a third mode where you can have the Copilot already. So when you're on the page and you want to add something, but we just want to get the feedback from you guys, so we could define on the better UI. Right now, if you want to do the same, if you want to get the Copilot experience, you just create a new task. You describe what you want, and you give a name of the page or a link to the page, and it will provide you with the results, what it's done, with a link to the page that you will be able to click and open in the admin, and then go back to the vibe. It should stay at the same, so you just switch to the mode. Maybe we're gonna add the hotkey. So that's the plan. Any other questions, guys? Okay. And I think we're at oh, there's one more thing. I was hoping, hey Vlad, Taras, can you tell me if I'll be able to show the SEO AEO agent on this right now? Or you don't know? Let me ask you, Jen. Okay. So we have this new agent. We created a system agent that creates SEO and AEO. So I just started it right here. I don't know what results going to bring, but this is the first agent that will be coming available for the partners that does post implementation work. So we hope to ship those fast, and we're also going to ask Adam to create those that basically the work that you guys do for when the website is finished, the implementation part is finished. So those will be available right here. It's a pre-trained agent, and this was the first one. And yeah, we'll plan to add those later on as time goes by. That's pretty much it. And we have our website. 30 minutes later, this website has been implemented. A little late, but better late than never. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. We had a semi-live demo as part of our call.
So Alex, obviously with the implementer, we'd give it a whole site markup. So I'm assuming with this new AI chat, we can start that on an existing site and give it partial markup files. Like if we only just want to develop a part of a site, like a module or a few pages. Is that right?
Yeah, just basically because there's a reason why we are merging the implementer and Copilot agents to this single one. Because like the goal of Copilot was to update site content, and the goal of implementer was to create a new site from the markup. So that's why they have, right now they're merged together. So yeah. Also, the current version is also working with modules. So even the current site has implemented modules on it. So it's already better than the old implementer.
Yeah, let me show you also it kind of takes a lot of work from team one. So you can make mistakes, you can redo, you can force it. So it's basically the whole beauty of it, rather than working with AI, with other AIs, is that it shows you all the results in this, like whenever it's done, and you can go to, what is that contact? You can go to the parts of the admin. For example, here's a contact form, and when you know how the implementation works, or you need to physically change things and so on, you can always do that. Then go back to the vibe mode. Yeah, that reload, but it wouldn't reload. And you can go and check do change this form, for example. So this whole process make it way more efficient for our type of users. So our typical target audience is the solo professionals, we would call them, that have basic knowledge of the front end and of our documentation and Liquid. And basically this agent allows them to build things, to get more control, even to ask. You can ask, how things are done and so on. So this should be, this seems like it's going to work very, very nice for Any questions, guys? We're actually arrived to the Q&A section already. So if there's anything else, if anything you want to ask, how does that it's interesting to hear from you guys how, aside from how when you're using Copilot and stuff, it's interesting to hear what is your experience with vibe coding, with all this AI and all that stuff, your take. If you guys want to and can share anything, that'd be great.
Alex, I'm probably one of the non-developers in this group. I know enough to be dangerous, but I certainly have my limitations. And up to this point, I've used AI for development to troubleshoot issues where maybe my knowledge was limited in terms of what I was trying to accomplish. But, I don't have a lot of questions per se, but I do see a much faster process to implementation using what you've developed here. I'm eager to try it. I think I tried it prematurely at some point along the way. So I'll definitely, as someone who would need to lean on a solution like this more so than having a developer skill set, I'm eager to get in there and work with it and see how, I could provide feedback or commentary based on our results. But it's exciting. I think it could streamline a lot of our processes.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I must admit, we did have a challenge with the first version of AgentOne. We did have a challenge of partners adapting it and adopting it to their processes. And UI UX was part of it because you have all these multiple agents. You don't know where to start, and do you have to have Figma, or do you don't have to have Figma? You have to migrate all that stuff. So that's why we're working with this more accessible UI where you would basically have it right in front of you, have this vibe tab, that's your starting point, and you would start with prompting, and then you would finish or pick up in the admin with an opportunity to always go back to the vibe mode and go back and forth. So I don't know if you heard of this autonomy slider term, but that's basically what we're trying to implement here. Autonomy slider is basically you want to have an ability to increase or decrease automation. So you don't want full automation, you don't want a full manual. It depends on the task, depends on the challenge. You want very specific amount of automation. So that's what we're trying to achieve. This term is Andrej Karpathy. That's the AI guru. He actually created that term. He was the guy who created the vibe coding term. Yes, that's the same guy. I'm 90% sure. So this is what we're trying to achieve here. We want to not isolate you, only AI or only manual. We want to give that smooth transition experience. It's very new, a little intimidating, but it's same exciting. So we really look forward to get more feedback and try to hand it to you as soon as possible. And also, as I mentioned, we want to convince Adam first. We want to make him get him to this holy shit moment first. We're probably going to cut this from recording before we're going to hand it to you. So we want to pass through enough use cases. Thanks, Joel. Any other questions, guys? Anything you want to comment?
I think it looks super cool. And I got a question about, well, we have to try it out and see how it structures the sites and so on. So with coding and everything, I guess Peter can tell a little bit about how we use AI in our daily work. And what about pricing? Is it something that you're going to?
Yeah, I was actually expecting that because otherwise I didn't know how to start on it. So the economy do you know how economy works with all the AI builders? They basically put a markup on top of the tokens that they pay to the Anthropic, to the LLM providers. So we want to make the pass-through model so we don't don't do any markup. So whatever we pay for the tokens, you pay for the tokens. And that's a double win-win for us and the agencies, for you as partners. If you're going to go in and build stuff on, let's say, Anthropic models, it's going to cost you a lot of tokens just to train it, just to build basic workflows, just to get started. What we are doing right now, like for example, this build that we did, it was around $20 and it was 1 hour. So what we are doing, we are optimized as much as possible. So a lot of our work, part of our work is optimization, meaning using less tokens to build certain scenarios, certain patterns, and on top of the capabilities. So for you first, we would charge you the same for tokens as you would pay to the provider. So we're not going to put a markup on it. We only make money. We want to make money just from subscriptions. That's our from hosting. And secondly, the same tasks that the AgentOne does would cost a lot of cheaper tokens that you would do that, on your own through Cloud Code, for example, because we have trained it on a cheaper models or with a more optimized way to do these tasks faster and cheaper. So this is our model that we are having for AgentOne. There is a gap still, like people are still getting used to the presence and the need of paying for tokens. I call it a new oil. We're gonna, you have to get used to that. You're gonna pay for tokens. Nobody's gonna provide you with unlimited or free tokens. Maybe just to get started, but it's gonna be something that people will pay every month. So whether you want it or not. So in that economy, we see positioning ourselves as with this pass-through model, and I think that's going to work best for agencies. And also, this whole idea of agencies building agents themselves and sharing between each other. There's also you can probably indicate, the usage of each agent, how many tokens it consumes per usage, and there's a lot of it's basically like extensions, but you can build them your own, and you can add automations and stuff like that. So the amount of scenarios is quite interesting, and the way how you can bill your clients for those automations and for those agents, that opens up some new opportunities. I'm quite keen to see in the future. So yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yep, that was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question, guys? Questions? Oh, we have Ryan joining us. Okay, guys. Well, thank you all for visiting. We'll keep you posted on the progress and most likely through Adam. Thank you all and have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.